Hi everyone, I'm going to do a retro sort of pin-up style look today. It's going to be a bright lip, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm using at the moment Tint Miracle Lancome foundation. It's really lovely. I've been using it for about two weeks, I'd say. I got a little sample. I still haven't bought the real thing yet, but the samples are free obviously, and they're giving quite two of these side samples, which is really good, I think. So I definitely go and try that one out if you're interested in trying a new foundation. So I've already given myself a coat of that on my face. I'm going to go in and do my eyebrows. I'm using a new one that I haven't used before. This is Vivo by Tesco's. You can buy it in Tesco's. It's quite cheap. I think this came to £4, and it's got all the different shades, a brow gel and a brush in here. So I think I'm going to use a mixture of these two together to fill in my brows, and I'm just going to be using an angled brush for that. Right, so I finished my eyebrows. I filled them in with these two colours using my Vivo Ultimate Brow Kit, and now I'm going to just prime my sort of eyelids. I'm using Painterly by MAC, which is a paint pot, so that's a good base. It's quite a subtle nudie style lid I'm going to go for, so I'm only going to tap a little bit of this onto my eyelid using my ring finger. It's quite a nice nudie colour, but I don't want to add too much because I don't want it to look too sort of ashy or too light. Great, so I've just used my MAC paint pot in Painterly on my lids, and I'm going to go back into it with my brow kit and use this light colour just to, I'll show you that properly, this light colour here, the first one, just to use some of this in my socket line, just to sort of lighten it and keep it quite fresh. So I'm going to keep some on my socket line and sort of bring some down under my eye as well. Right, so I've done my eyes with the paint pot, and I've also gone in with the light colour from my brow kit in the socket line and underneath. I'm going to go in and give myself like a winged look using my Clinique gel liner, so it's quite good to sort of hold, and it lasts a bit longer than I would say liquid does. So I'm just going to use my brush, which is a Sigma small eyeliner E10 brush for that. So I'm just going to load that up properly, and then just start from my tear duct and work my way up, sort of just building from the base, I'd say. Right, so I've just finished lining my eyes. I've gone right into the tear duct area and gone sort of giving it a subtle flick at the end, but keeping it quite thick and even on both sides. If I'll show you that eye and that eye. So I think the gel lasts longer, and it's sort of easier to focus, like painting it onto your lids. And I like to make sure you go in and also hit this bit underneath your eyelids, so that you sort of cover underneath so it doesn't reflect and look like you've missed spots or whatever. So that's both of my eyes ready and done. I'm going to go on and move on to mascara. I'm using this one, which is Thick and Fast black mascara from Soap and Glory. I got it free with March's issue of the ELLE with an extra channel on the front. So if you're just sort of wanting to try a new mascara or a little freebie you get with a magazine, I'd go out and get that one. So I'm going to go ahead and get cracking with that and just give myself like 2 coats. Right, so I'm just going to give myself a quick finish up with this mascara. It's the first time I've used it, and I do think it's quite a good for it being like a freebie with a magazine. I've liked the sort of spider lashes it's given me, which is quite a nice one to use for the size of the brush. I think it's done quite pretty well. So I'm going to move on to lining my eyes and concealing. For the inside, my waterline, I'm going to be using an Oon pen. This is a Skin Glow pencil crayon. The number is G02. It's quite a fleshy toned one, sort of lightening under your eyes. So I'm just going to give that, start from my tear duct and roll this in. It's quite a soft pencil, which is quite nice to use. I'm going to line both eyes. Gives you sort of like a baby doll effect, I think. White liner. So any sort of mess you can just clean up at the end, so don't worry about too much about that. But I am still going to just line a little bit with my Clinique. So although I've done my waterline with the white, I want to just get a bit of my black Clinique and do the outer line. But I'm not going to be going far into my eyes with it, just literally rolling some across here. Right, so I've just finished with my waterline. I just blended using a cotton bud just to blend the tone flesh colour with the black, because it's literally just like wing the end with a little bit of black underneath your eye as well as on top. So I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm using MAC Moisture Cover for this. My colour number is 4045. I'm just going to double cut 2 dots under here just to lighten it up. Not too much. Blend with my Sigma concealer brush. It's quite a light cover. I do really like this concealer. Just blending that. It's quite even. And then I'm going to move on to my blusher. I'll be using a Natural Collections blusher. This one is in it's in Peach Melba. You can see the colour there. It reminds me a little bit of Harmony by MAC, this one. Let me take the cover off my help. You can see there. I think these are great blushes to use because they're only like $1.99 I think, or they always have like a deal on with the Natural Collection. And they're really, really good pigmentation, so I think these are good investment to make. So I'm going to use my Duo Fibre brush, my Sigma brush, get some product on here, and just sort of contour, so hold my cheeks in, and just blend some of this across. If you're sort of dusting it on, if it's sort of, I tend to bring it up to your sort of forehead just to blend it, sort of where sun would hit, obviously. So it doesn't look too much of a harsh line if you're trying to sort of contour your face. And run some down my nose. I'm going to move on to some highlighting, just while I'm in the sort of cheekbone area. And I'm going to be using Sin from my Urban Decay Naked palette. It's sort of this one here, you can see. The very first one you see here. But any sort of other highlighter towards this colour would be a great one to use. I know Sleek do a contour kit which would be quite handy, but if you don't have the Urban Decay Naked palette, anything similar to this colour would be great. And I'm just going to use a Bobbi Brown sort of eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to tap some of this on underneath my eyebrow, sort of blending it in, just to sort of, and sort of just taking it around like a C. Sort of lightens up, and it can sort of change the way your eyes are looking, I think, by just adding a bit of highlighter. And this is quite a nice pigmentation one. It's got quite a nice shimmer to it, so I'm going to run some along my nose as well. And then move on to my lips. And finally, I'm going to be using a Rimmel colour. I think this is the Fusion colour. This one's in Shocking Pink, which is really, really bright. You can see it's quite pink and bright. And it smells really nice. It smells like my grand's lipstick, which is weird, but it's nice. And I'm going to use some of this on my Sigma brush, my lip brush. So I'm just going to build it up. You could go straight onto your lip if you wanted, but I'm going to sort of try and stage it so it's not too much. I did put I've had some Elizabeth Arden A-Towel cream on my lips earlier, so sort of keep them moisturised. It's really, really is really pink. So you can, I think by using a lip brush, you can decide how deep you want to go with the colour. Whereas I think, because it's quite shocking pink, if you were to just go straight on with this with the lipstick itself, it can be a bit overbearing and you might think, oh, it's too bright for me. But if you just add it as you go, you can decide what sort of customise the colour for yourself. Okay. Right, so I've given myself maybe 3 coats of this, just building it up with my brush, but I really find it's a workable and sort of a workable wearable lipstick to put on your lips, or sort of if you're just starting off or fancy a bit of a change or a different colour, I really would recommend this one. And I also did just dab a little bit on my cheeks, so I think as it all came together, you don't want to look too drained in your cheeks, and if you're sort of bringing your lip and cheek in together, I literally just got a tiny few dabs off my brush like that and blended it, because you still want to look quite warm in your cheeks, you don't want the lips to sort of drain your face. So I've sort of evened that out a little bit just to make my cheeks a little bit rosier. And that's sort of the finished look that I would go for this. It's quite dull eye with this, because with the Un pencil really does give you sort of like a wider eye, which I think is quite nice. So it's sort of dull eye, sort of a bit of a flick, makes it a bit retro, or you could just sort of customise it with your maybe favourite lipstick you have. So I hope this has been helpful, guys, and I hope you have a good day. See you later. Bye, guys. Go. Hi, guys. No, sorry, let's try again. Hey. Go. Right, so I've done the paint pot, Painterly MAC, sorry.